All right, we're going to call this meeting to order. Could I get a roll call, please?
Commissioner Laird,
Present.
Commissioner Mill,
Here.
Commissioner Nicolason, Commissioner North,
Here.
Chairman Friel.
Here. Would you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? Move on to the approval of the consent agenda. Do I have a motion on that?
So moved. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Milne, second by Commissioner North. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. I now declare the public hearing open for the consideration of application for transfer of ownership of a full retail liquor license from Randy Royal, Chapter 7 trustee, CC Cowboys, Inc., doing business as Rax, to Seasons Hall LLC, doing business as Seasons Hall. The hearing will be conducted in accordance with state statutes, the rules of the Natrona County Commission, and other applicable laws. May I have a report, Madam Clerk?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, for your consideration is the transfer of the full retail liquor license from Randy L. Royal, Chapter 7 trustee for the bankruptcy estate of CC Cowboys, Inc., DBA Rax. This transfer would be from CC Cowboys, Inc., DBA Rax, to Seasons Hall LLC, DBA Seasons Hall. The applicant has provided all required documents for this transfer, and publication requirements have been met. With that, I will stand for any questions.
Any questions from the clerk?
I do.
Commissioner Laird.
I guess it could be directed both at Tracy and at Heather. Are all of the legal documents in order, and this is something we can do, and then it's approved by the bankruptcy court and all the parties involved?
I will have your county attorney answer that.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Laird, yes. We are operating under the order of the bankruptcy court. They approved Mr. Johnson going forward and trying to get the transfer of this license. We believe that all the documents are in order and that this is something that you can consider and vote on today.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, at this time, I'd ask those individuals who wish to speak in favor of the application of transfer of ownership of a full retail liquor license to approach the lectern. Good evening. Can you state your name and address, please?
Yes, I'm John Johnson. My address, 1917 Rustic Court, Casper, Wyoming. Mr. Chairman, fellow members of the council, or of the commission, our Seasons Hall is an entity of Johnson Restaurant Group. It's going to be our catering and event facility. I brought some brochures. If I could share them with you, I'd like to do that.
Absolutely.
Sir, can you give one to Michelle, please?
So this facility is going to be in what used to be the McMurray Training Center building, the two-story building that's on Bryan Stock Trail. We bought this building about a year and a half ago, and we remodeled the upstairs floor into the offices for Johnson Restaurant Group. We used to be located downtown, as you all know. And then the main floor is another 12,000 feet, plus we're going to have about a 5,000 square foot outside venue that faces towards Casper Mountain. So it's going to have an on-site kitchen, and the reason that we're asking for this license is so that we can do the inside and the outside catering. Does anybody have any questions?
Any questions?
I just have one.
Commissioner Laird?
If you've watched previous meetings of the commission, we don't approve liquor licenses where people have pole dancing. You know that.
Yes,
Yeah, and you're not going to
Commissioner
do
Laird.
that.
No, there are no polls in this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Commissioner Nicolason?
Mr. Johnson, thanks. I think this is an exciting idea. I'm looking for, in the application, hours of operation, and is it full-time all year round?
Yes, it's going to be a 12-month venue. The hours of operation are a little bit hard to define because it is an event space, and obviously our goal will be to cater to people's events, but Commissioner Nicolason, I can assure you that it won't be going past, late in, probably not past 2 a.m. ever, and I can't picture it ever starting very early in the morning, I mean, more other than breakfast, but it's going to be similar to other event spaces that you would see let's say out at the industrial building or at the McGinley facility downtown. I mean, it's going to operate very similar to that. You can book it for parties, for celebrations of life, or, whatever you see fit, but it's not intended to be anything other than an event space. It's not going to turn into a nightclub or anything like that.
Does it have a full commercial kitchen?
It does.
Thank you.
Now, we just, in transparency, we have disassembled that kitchen only because we wanted to construct it in a way that we felt would be more efficient for us, but it's in the same space where the kitchen was. We're putting a bigger walk-in cooler freezer on it, to just stuff to facilitate what we want to do.
Commissioner North?
Do you have an anticipated date that you plan on opening?
It's going to be probably late summer. We're going to start on construction again right after the first of the year. We got the upstairs already finished, and you got occupancy this last July for that space, and now we're going to start on the main floor.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Commissioner Milne?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thanks for coming in. Your plans look really nice. Are you going to have to expand the building at all or anything like that?
No, the biggest thing that we're going to have to do is build a sound barrier wall against Bryan Stock Trail. That's like where you see that garden area out there. That's going to be our biggest challenge, is to figure out how to sound barrier that a little bit so that when a motorcycle or a vehicle goes by, it doesn't wreck somebody's nuptials.
Right. No, that's it. I was just kind of curious. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
I
Okay.
look for your favorable support. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who wish to speak in favor of? All right, at this time, I'd ask those individuals who wish to speak in opposition to the application for transfer of ownership of a full retail liquor license to please approach the lectern. Okay, there being no others to speak for or against the application to transfer of ownership of the full retail liquor license, I now declare the public hearing closed. We have a motion by the commission.
So move to accept the application for retail liquor license.
Second.
Motion to approve the application of liquor license made by Commissioner Laird, second by Commissioner Milne. Discussion? Commissioner
Sure.
Milne.
Heather or Tracy, this falls within all the statutory mileage and everything, correct? It's not going to affect any other liquor licenses out there or anything? Okay. What about the VFW? Since they're right there.
I can't speak to the VFW as that's not one of our licenses.
It's in the city, right?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Commissioner Nicolason.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm trying to get my head around the bankruptcy side of this. So for our county legal department, does this need to be made conditional upon the bankruptcy court's approval, or maybe that's already been obtained.
Yes, Mr. Chairman Friel, Commissioner Nicolais, and so the bankruptcy court has approved this. As far as this, the purchase of the license in the bankruptcy proceedings is contingent upon your approval of the transfer application. So they're basically waiting on your decision here. And then if you approve it, I think bankruptcy court will then go forward with the rest of the process that it has. If you don't, then I'm not sure what the next step for the court will be at that point, but they're waiting for your action and your decision.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Okay, we'll open it up to public comment.
Good evening, Rosemary Saban, Natrona County resident. Before I start this, please try to understand, I went to Revenue Committee, and some of the things I saw down there I didn't like, some of the things in here I don't like. So part of this is concerning both. It is not conduct becoming of our representatives to ignore the citizenry. Whether it's myself addressing you or your seemingly intentional way of rearranging the meeting to avoid public comments, as was done on October 17th. The agenda was doling out more money to Delta Sky West. I personally find it very distasteful and poor showing when cheap shots are taken at each other on a relatively often occasion, snarky comments toward Mr. Laird for not understanding and being confused and looking for clarity. And in the next breath, making an apology for self-confusion like the conduction of the meeting order. Mr. Nicolason, you asked for open dialogue. And when I attempt that approach, November 7th, you would not look up from your computer. Kind of like, no. Pacification seems to be your sole strategy. I took note of some of the hostility. I was watching the work session meeting from the meeting before, from Mr. Friel toward Mr. North during the November 7th work session. Everybody seemed to be braced and on edge. All I could extrapolate was that something was wrong with keys and entry into the building. I would assume poor communication may have been exercised. Divisions of boards do not serve the people. I went to Cheyenne to the Revenue Committee meeting and testified. The division did not serve the people for tax relief that we, the people, have petitioned our government for. Is there a reason that you guys didn't testify on Zoom or did not appear?
If you're directing that to all of us, I did.
You
I
did,
did
you
appear.
two did in Casper. Private conversations with legislators unheard by the public doesn't count. We don't know what's being said. We don't know what's happening there. Brent Bean has a ballot initiative. You guys know about that? Yes. It would reduce the assessed value on a single primary residence by 50%. It would be helpful if you all would raise public awareness of this course of action the people have for an option as our representatives. I'm not going to pronounce it. Uinta County? Uinta County. They have a table outside their office, their assessor's office, with the petition on there. I don't know if that's something you guys would be able to do here. I brought up the library last time, and the county is not obligated to fund a library at all. And combined with the fact that Mr. Friel, I thought it was nice. You asked 250,000, was that? I didn't want to go back and look at the work session, but you offered maybe 250,000 could help them, was a suggestion. I think it might have been 150 or 250, something like that. The point is they said it wouldn't help at all. So this should be a moot point at this point. Be satisfied with currently exist, fixing the minimal issues in comparison to a new library for 36 million. I personally feel that considering a computer extension to separate out the needs would be a better idea. There's the public health building, and I see that Village Inn is now vacant. Maybe that's a possibility. So that's what I have for this evening. Where are we at with the land use plan? Anywhere?
Are you talking about the zoning?
Yeah,
Okay.
zoning.
Okay. We did move to send out the wildland interface for review, for the public review this afternoon. We did vote to do that, so we're going to start doing that. That's the first step. And then there's several issues that we're going to be looking at in the future as far as different items that are in the zoning to see what we can do to improve that.
Okay, thank you. And I have nothing else except I do wish you all a happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Anyone else for public comment? Okay, we'll go commissioner comments. Commissioner Laird.
I'm just going to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving and a happy holiday season. And I think we're going to move along nicely with what we do with the county's money and have a committee that investigates what we should do. And then that'll be presented to the commissioners as a body, and the commissioners will vote on it. I'm really pleased with how that's going to all happen. A lot of people have already done a lot of work on it. And we have a lot of good employees, and Mr. Milne made a nice suggestion that I think is going to be carried out about that. And so I'm feeling really good about the rest of the year and what we can do, and being kind to people and being respectful to people, I always think is a good idea. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner North.
Well, we've been very fortunate and had a nice long fall for a change, but looks like that's about to change here on Thanksgiving afternoon. So I just want to remind everybody, be careful out there, be safe, and have a good Thanksgiving.
Commissioner Milne.
Well, I'd also like to wish everybody a happy holiday and hope they enjoy their Thanksgiving. Be careful if you decide to fry your turkey, be careful you don't end up fried. It sure puts a damper on the holiday. So, but yeah, no, I hope everybody has a safe holiday. Enjoys time with their family. Trust me, it's being pointed out to me quite a bit here lately, and that take that time, take those opportunities.
Commissioner Nicolason.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. I think there are a lot of great things going on in the county right now, and it does come back to the good work being done by our employees, our elected officials, and our department heads. So thanks to our employees. I'm thankful for our employees and wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving.
I'll just wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving and a safe holiday. So we will, before we stand adjourned, I need a motion to go into executive session.
I'll second that.
Motion made by Commissioner Laird, second by Commissioner North. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, do we need to indicate the reasons for going into executive session? I believe it's for property acquisition. That's the one I'm aware of.
Yes, offhand, I'm not sure if we've got that specific statutory provision on there. So to be on the safe side, if we could, I think that would be a good idea.
Great.
Commissioner Laird, would you like to amend your motion to?
Go in, but to also discuss an issue that would involve employees.
So personnel and property acquisition.
Yes.
All right. Any discussion on that?
Is Dave good with it?
And I'll still second that.
You still seconding it? Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I think we should point out this is a little bit change in our normal routine. It's nothing that we don't normally do at the beginning or the end of our work session. You pointed out to us that there's a potential, and so that's why we've changed for legal reasons. So it's not, we're not doing anything that we don't normally do, and that it's just changing the time around a little bit of when we talk about this and going into session.
Yeah, just to clarify on the record, the reason that we're changing this up is we've normally come out of a work session and gone into an executive session. But in order to do that, you need to be in a business meeting where you can actually vote. Work sessions, you cannot vote, so we cannot have a vote to go into an executive session from a work session. We need to be in a business meeting, of which we're in now. So with that being said, we're in this business meeting making the motion to go in executive session. So moving forward from this point on, that's how it will be. So any further discussion? Okay, with no further discussion, all in favor of doing an executive session?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. We're in executive session.